Oh my gosh, so much boxing news today, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get to it all. I'm gonna try. It's gonna be one of those days where I haven't done it in a long time, and it's get to a lot of news in one day. Okay, so with the most unfortunate news, and whether you like him or not, he was a polarizing figure in boxing. I'm talking about Victor Conte. BALCO scandal. We all know about the BALCO with the Olympians, with the Major League Baseball, and then he went into boxing and did it in boxing, and then he got arrested and he got convicted. Came back and did his thing, created a snack, and there was questions about snack, and we're gonna get into that. And you saw the thumbnail, and you saw somebody on the thumbnail. I'm gonna explain why he's on there in a second. It's not as nefarious as you think it is. No es tan raro por la persona que yo puse no es raro, sino que no es controversial lo que yo estoy tratando de hacer por poner esa cara en la thumbnail que yo hice. Ya como ustedes oyeron en inglés, Víctor Conte, Balco, las Olímpicas, yada, yada, yada. We're going to get all into that in a second. But first, if you're new here, thank you for stopping in and choosing this video. And if you're older subscriber, thank you for the continued support. I really appreciate it. Víctor Conte. Yo había escuchado que él tenía cáncer. Y fue Showbiz The Adult que lo había mencionado en uno de sus programas. Y yo soy un fanático de Showbiz The Adult porque antes que yo estaba con los podcasts y los canales de español en boxeo, yo estaba con Boxing Eagle, estaba con Dante y estaba con Showbiz. Entonces me desasocié, no sé si se dice así, de los otros canales y me quedé no solamente viendo, escuchando con Showbiz y a veces yo escuchaba ahora a The Boxing Voice y también a Mill City y Sean. Anyway, I listen to Sean and Showbiz and Mill City now, and before it was Dante, Showbiz, and Boxing Eagle. Those are the people who I first really started listening to, and then now here I am on my own doing my own thing. So anyway, what does that mean? Okay, well, let's read what happened with Victor Conte and what the cause of death was. And here it is. He has passed away from pancreatic cancer at the age of 75. Heard that before. So here is Victor Conte, the eccentric, controversial businessman and self-styled nutrition and conditioning expert, died on Monday at the age of 75 after a battle with pancreatic cancer. This is not the first time. I've had friends and family, and recently a YouTuber died of pancreatic cancer. Once pancreatic cancer gets around the pancreas, it's pretty much over. Major blood vessels run through there, et cetera, et cetera. It's terrible. Conte was a figure at the center of one of the professional sports biggest and performance-enhancing drug scandals in the early 2000s, but he went on to provide information to authorities and drug testing organizations and positioned himself as an anti-doping advocate before again working with athletes, including a number of boxers. BALCO, a San Francisco-based company founded by Conte in 1984, was investigated by the U.S. government in 2002, leading to high-profile athletes such as Major League Baseball Barry Bonds, the NFL's Bill Romanowski, and Olympic sprinter Marion Jones being swept up in the scandal. Conte and several other associates were indicted on related charges in 2005 and pled guilty to and served 4 months in prison. 4 meses nada más. Wow, okay. To his credit, Conte owned up to the role and with the widespread steroids distribution network, and he had a strong self-awareness that it would follow him long after he had served his time. In the aftermath, he also worked with organizations such as the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, and Voluntary Anti-Doping Association, VADA, to identify loopholes and to bolster drug detection, and founded Snack Nutrition. Ahí es donde está la controversia, aquí con Snack y con VADA. VADA existe porque él era uno de los primeros que lo creó, created VADA. He tries to say no, but yes, he was in the involvement of creating VADA, and then he disassociated himself from being a creator of VADA, and then just solely became an advisor to VADA, which led people kind of like think, well, especially when they only use VADA, like why is he only using VADA? Anyway, so he died of pancreatic cancer, and rest in peace, Victor Conte. I also heard he was a musician of some sort. I didn't really look into that was, pero que tocaba y que música o algo así. No, yo no busqué mucho en eso, pero lo leí bien ligero. Y entonces también la controversia era cuando él decía que tenían que usar vara, pero cuando se busca entre vara, tú ves que él fue uno de los que creó a VADA, entonces, pues, a VADA, y después se desasoció again, that word, I don't know how to say in Spanish, disassociated himself from VADA and only became an advisor and pushed VADA as the anti-doping agency that people should use, and which raised a lot of eyebrows, like, hey, what was going on, right? So he still wasn't without controversy, Victor Conte. It's unfortunate, listen, he didn't, nobody deserves to die like that, that is not inherently evil. I don't think he was evil. He physically didn't hurt anyone in that way and things like that, but he took food from people's table by helping other athletes in an illegal way to then, because who knows, if he didn't help those athletes in that way, maybe another person who came in second would have came in first, and then the richest would have went to them, right? So you have that kind of thing going on. So in that way, he was evil, but not in the evil way of, like, where I will wish you to die in this way, because dying of cancer is a terrible death, and I don't wish it upon anybody, because I worked in a cancer center and I know that that's bad. Yo sé que morirse de un cáncer es lo más horrífico que hay. Entonces yo he visto mucha gente, amigos y amistades, morir de cáncer, y trabajaba yo también en un hospital de cáncer. So yo veo todo eso cada día, o lo veía. Entonces ya eso no se lo mando encima a nadie. But anyway, but I put Showbiz the Adult on the thumbnail because in his last weeks, in his last days, él estaba más asociado con Showbiz the Adult. He was associated with Showbiz the Adult a lot because Showbiz was calling out a lot of indiscrepancies with, or discrepancies, I should say, rather, with, Snack and the way Snack works, and him only pushing VADA and being an advocate for VADA and things like that. And so they were really intertwined in Twitter battles and stuff like that. And at the end, and as I was researching, cuando yo estaba buscando, ¿sabe? El nombre de Victor Conte, when I was looking at Victor Conte's name up in Twitter, I went, I got into his account and I looked, I said, what was his last tweet? Y me pensó la mente, ¿qué era su último tweet que él mandó? Well, I'm going to share my screen with you guys right now. And I found this not funny, haha. No lo encontré chistoso como un chiste de reírse, pero I found it funny in that ironic way. So here it is. I'm going to share my screen. So I had to do it this way because for some reason, Melt Studios logs me out of my account and I can't show you his last actual, tweet. So let me close this down because I don't know what that's there. Okay. So you see here, this is a PDF download and say Victor Conte, founder of BALCO Laboratory, CEO, Snack Systems, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you see here, 223, 18,000 followers. Again, Victor Conte, his picture's not here because don't ask me why. I don't know why. No sé porque nada de esto se bajó cuando lo guardé, pero okay, aquí está Snack, whatever. So, August 18th, you see here, August 21st was his last, where he put Tim Bradley, talks about snack products and Canelo and all of that stuff. And then August 18th here, you can see his second to last tweet where he addressed someone. It was to Showbiz. You are straight up hated Showbiz. I never said it was a current photo. All I did was Terrence would be ready. You always seem to find a way to, and it got cut off here. Always something. Always find a way to hate. That was the last actual, tweet that he gave out in regards to addressing anyone in particular. And I'm hoping that Showbiz does not take that to heart in the way, that it doesn't mess with him in any way, because we would never have known, and we should be able to call out people on their shady business that we think they might be running, because that's how you clean up the sport. Sí, ¿sabes? Debemos de tener la autoridad de decir, como la plataforma de nosotros, pequeña o grande como Showbiz, si vemos algo que creemos que, bueno, esto no se suena bien, tenemos que tener la habilidad de decirle, esto no lo hallo bien. Nunca sabemos que alguien va a pasar, ¿sabes? Se va a morir de cáncer o algo así, tú sabes, horrífico. We don't know that that's going to happen. So, to hold them accountable or not accountable, but to maybe make them feel bad. Look what you said it was the last thing he kind of tweeted out, blah, 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 blah. That, that wouldn't be fair. I know Showbiz probably doesn't think of it that way, but, and I don't either. But I know people may try to use that against them in that way. And I did use this photo on purpose to drive people to my video so I could share that and say that, people don't know what's in store. And some people say, well, that's why you don't say things. Well, how are we supposed to know? How are we supposed to move on like a society? But anyway, los hallé curioso, que ese fue el último tweet que mandó Victor Conte hablándole a una persona en particular. But anyway, let me know in the comments below. What do you think of Victor Conte? Did you think he was that maniacal person, that evil person in sports, or did you just think he did something, he paid his price, and he should have been freed of all debt? And we should have all forgive and forget. Let me know in the comments down below. See you next video, and I'm out. And rest in peace, Victor Conte.